Action is needed to protect offshore workers and other oil sector jobs as the industry is set to decline and move to renewables. That's the warning from a trade union on the day that a so-called skills passport pilot is launched to help workers transition into cleaner energy. Stephen Brown is live in Aberdeen. Stephen, another warning from Unite the Union about the future of jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. I think broadly, though, the skills passport has been welcomed. It's about trying to help workers get from oil and gas into the renewable sector to use their current qualifications to help them to break into that green technology without having to go through more costly courses in the future. It is something that workers and industry have been calling for some time. As I say, Unite the Union, for example, welcoming this, but saying it's really important that in places, especially like here in the northeast, that workers feel the benefit of the just transition. They say there's important that we have this wider plan to safeguard income, safeguard standards, and of course, as they say, to protect jobs in the future. Now, the Scottish Government saying that they will do all that they can to try and help oil and gas workers to move into the renewable sector.
Well, we want to make the opportunities as broad and as easy for people to access as they can. Many of the skills already exist. Many of the skills that we need for a renewables future, say for example for offshore wind, are already out there, but people need to know what their options are, what their opportunities are for training, and therefore we want to make that into one seamless, simple process.
Well, an awful lot of talk about how we move oil and gas workers in places like here in Aberdeen into the renewable sector. And the UK government today are designating Aberdeen as one of the areas that they see as really important regions in the future to drive their clean energy policy ahead of 2030. But the chief executive of the Climate Change Committee warning both the Scottish and the UK governments today that they must help communities that will be impacted by the transition.
There needs to be more work from the UK government and devolved governments on local impacts and particular communities and particular workforces that will be affected by the transition. Just to be clear, only about 1% of the workforce are in industries that we can't see moving over to net zero industries or new opportunities when you look at the UK overall. But if you're in Aberdeen, that clearly feels different.
An awful lot of talk as well this week about GB Energy, which of course will be headquartered here in Aberdeen, what exactly it will, what it won't do, the impact it might have and the number of jobs it might create. We know the future oil and gas drilling policy of the UK government, that is not to grant any new oil and gas drilling licences in the North Sea. That seems in stark contrast now to the policy in the US, which can be, I think, best summed up by President Trump's words, which of course was drill, baby, drill.
Stephen, thank you.